Enlightened World Network. I am here with Sue Broome for messages from our loved ones. So we invite you to please come into the chat of Facebook and share who you are hoping to hear from today. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Miss Ruth. I'm so excited to be here with you today on this special Monday with you. Yay!
I am too. Excuse me, they're already clearing my throat chakra. So
Yay!
what's coming in?
Oh, so funny. I am sharing, so that's why I'm only halfway paying attention.
That's all right. I was
Sharing this out.
set up so we could see as well. I love I love this, Sue, because I was actually fine until until we opened up.
Yep, they are gathering. That is for certain.
So
Okay, so
Lynn Marie says she's here, but she can't see. So can you see us on Facebook?
I can see us. I've now keep in mind I've had to refresh Facebook page 3 times since right away. So maybe I'm impatient, but
Well, let's see. No,
but I can see
I
us.
can see us too. But Lynn Marie, let me assure you, we look fabulous today.
We do.
Fabulous.
That's me. I can see you. You can. Oh,
Oh.
good, Miss Lynn Marie. That's pretty funny.
So we believe that you're looking fabulous today as well.
Oh, absolutely.
That's so fun. Okay, I'm gonna share one quick second here.
Yeah, I'm still sharing too. I've got 2 more to go.
We are sharing with EWN Francais today. Oh, Lynn Marie, you do look fabulous. Of course, thank you. I love that. Sharing with EWN Francais, and let's also share with EWN Enlightened Living.
Yeah, and I'm sharing it on my channels. Oh, love all the pinks and purples. Yes, today must be a pink and purple day.
It is. It's a celebration. Really, it is a celebration. Okay, well, let's just start chatting.
All right.
Wow, it's been an amazing weekend. Amazing weekend. Sherry Myers, who some of you know, lost her son Paul. No, lost her brother Paul this weekend. And here at EWN, we lost a family member, Linda Dirks, this weekend. Lost is the wrong term with Linda. We escorted her to the finish line. And Linda was fascinating through all of this. She was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in early February. And she decided she was going to fight it. Whatever she could do to have more time here on earth, she was going to do. She went through 4 hellacious weeks of chemotherapy and went back to the doctor, and they said, yes, this should work. And then they went, nope, it didn't actually work. And she said, okay, then I'm done. I don't want any more chemicals in my body. I want to ride this out and be as strong as I can be, as natural as I can be. And she then, because she is in Vermont, took advantage of Vermont's Death with Dignity Act. And she knew she was getting down to the wire there. And they have this, it's a serious process. Not just anybody can decide that they want to end their life. So there's like a 15-day cooling off period. You have to have 2 different physicians sign off on it. You have to administer it to yourself. It was a concoction of Lord knows what. She had to give it to herself. And she decided the day and the time that she was going to go. And that was Saturday at 11 in the morning, Eastern time. And she decided she wanted to be lifted in spirit. I'm getting goosebumps. Lifted in spirit by those who loved her, those who believed that there's more to life, than, living and dying, that there's life on the other side. And I can tell you, the day before she died, she received over 200 emails in support, and she answered every single one of them. It was amazing, the outpouring, and because she was, pretty dosed on morphine by that time, and she would get these pockets of cognitive clarity, and she would just hit it running and get as much done as she could in between the daisy periods. She responded to every one of those. And on Saturday morning, she had requested, she wanted to be with her brother and her best friend Jen. And Jen had been caring for her for a couple of weeks. She wanted to be at her brother's home in the backyard under, I think he's got this amazing apple tree, and she wanted to be in the Adirondack Lounge under the apple tree. And she wanted three of us to be there facilitating with her. And so it was me and Dale Alansky, who does meditations on EWN, and, well, Reverend Dale Alansky. She's with the Center for Spiritual Living in Palm Desert, and Reverend Meredith Young Sowers. Young Sowers. And she's with Still Point Foundation, and she's in New Hampshire. So we gathered on Zoom, and Linda wanted it so we couldn't see her, which was great, but she was in the best of places. She called us each, and we each had a private couple of moments with her, and then she got on Zoom with us, and she had told us exactly what she wanted us to do, exactly what she wanted us to talk about, and for how long, and in what order. I mean, she scripted her final exit. And
So
we did
beautiful.
it with her, and she was upbeat and smiling and laughing, and we were laughing and loving her as she was making the exit. Well, then she takes the concoction, and then we waited and we waited. And after about an hour and a half, we went, okay, you know what? I'll call you, right? As soon as I find out, I'll call you. It took 4 hours for
Wow.
her to finally make the transition, which shocked me. It just shocked me that it could take that long. And Terry Angel and I, well, we were waiting, and Terry Angel and I were driving across town, and out of these tall grasses comes this red cardinal, and comes up like, look at me, and then takes off over the car. And Terry goes, oh, that was a red cardinal. I said, we don't get red cardinals here. She said, no, that's the red cardinal. I said, okay. So we thought, well, that must be Linda sending us a message, right? And literally 3 minutes after the red cardinal, we get the text, Linda just passed over a couple of minutes ago. And it was like, yes, the red cardinal. And I'm getting goosebumps with that. So life after life, boy, life can be a celebration. You're going from one learning environment to another. You're going from one loving environment to another. It truly can be a celebration. Linda taught us that at the end. And, Sue, you and I have seen that before, but to have it so in our face this weekend was a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much for sharing, Miss Ruth, because I was holding her in love. And so as you're telling this story, I'll tell you two things. I'll tell you how I felt that morning, and as you're telling it now, is so I always give analogies for those of you that don't know me. And you know what, when a whale has the spout, the water goes up the spout. Okay. So and now I'm getting chills. What I'm seeing is it's almost like the uplifting of love Linda was on top of the water spout, and the water is pushing up, and she's just going up higher and higher and higher. And I know heaven is not up there, but it's, and it feels like such an expansion with the water, the water going up. So that's very cool.
And there were a couple of messages that she gave us while we were waiting for it to finally happen, because she was in spirit there, right? It was just her body needing to shut down. And at one point, I still had Dale and Meredith with me online, and all of a sudden I'm seeing Linda's face, like big, in my space, smiling. She's so happy. And she goes, "We did it." And I said, "No, babe, you did it. You know, we were just here to support you. You did it." And then about a minute later, I hear like this excited, "Oh man." And that's what she would say when she was really excited about something. "Oh man." And then I saw her turn around and walk off. I was like, she's good.
Okay, I'm out of here.
I'm out. Yeah, it was so nice to have that validation from her. Like, I'm good. So we do have some friends that want to hear something from a loved one. Oh, you want to say something?
One more thing. On Saturday, what I was feeling was this sense of overwhelming peace. And that's, I mean, there was obviously there was also love, but it was like a wave of peace was coming. And so I thought that was perfect.
It is perfect. Yes, it is perfect. I've not ever seen anybody embracing death the way that she was. What a lesson for all of
Yeah.
us.
It is a beautiful lesson, and I'm so glad that she wanted to share and that you are able to share and help, let people know that it truly is. We're just transitioning.
Right. Exactly right.
So,
And she's not far away. I can tell you too. We think they're gone forever. They're not.
no, they're still right here.
It's still right here. You know, my brother used to joke about a country western song. How can I miss you if you won't go away?
That's right. That's perfect. That's right. So, see, and there go the chimes. That's so funny.
That is fun.
Okay, I'm ready, honey.
All righty, we've got Luann Thoreau. Her mother passed May 30th, so that's really recent.
Oh, yes. Yes, very recent, Miss Luann. All right. Let's see what. So as I'm shuffling the cards, I clear the energies, I clear my energies, I clear my space, I clear the cards. But I also ask everyone to call in your loved ones. Because they're the ones that are, oh, I thought that was it. They're the ones that, oh, there it is. There it is. Thank you. Write me a note. So I love this card. There's a couple things about writing. And so there was, I'm an author. What was her name? Her last name was Noe. I can't remember what her first name is. But in this book, she talked about writing just a letter to someone. And if I remember correctly, it was writing a letter, and I might be getting two different teachers mixed up. I do that sometimes. I kind of blend them. But so you write a letter to the person that has transitioned as if they will be receiving it, and you put it in a drawer, and a week or so later in meditation, you answer the letter as if you are answering it from them.
Oh.
And it's very, because when I was reading this, it's like, well, that's not what I was expecting. And it is an interesting thing. And I view that very similar to when I channel rate, and now I do it a little differently because I've been doing it for so long. But especially when someone is first starting, you can write questions to your loved one and start with writing the note. If you're right-handed, write the question with your right hand and write the answer. Allow them to answer with your left hand and have a conversation.
Oh, interesting.
And that was actually how I started working with my mom. So I feel like it's twofold. I feel like there is, yes, absolutely, writing a note, if that is something that rings with you. I've also heard mail a card, mail a letter, and actually go put it in the mailbox, actually mail it without a return address, because then you'll never get it back.
Right, right.
But it feels like there's going to be, it feels like there's something that you're going to find that has special meaning from her that is written, or some kind of a correspondence. Ooh, and I'm getting chills on that. Some kind of a correspondence that you're going to come across. So boy, Luann, I hope that rings, but that's what I'm getting on that.
I get the chimes on that.
Yep, chimes are going off.
So, Luann, what I was seeing was interesting. I was seeing like raindrops, but not sad raindrops. I was seeing colorful raindrops. Like each raindrop is a different color, like pinks and yellows and greens and oranges and reds, but it looks like it's on a wind chime. So what I'm getting from that is that your mother is coming to you. She's not that far. She's coming to you and like on the breeze. Like your mother's coming to you on the breeze, and to be thinking of her in light, airy, fun, loving terms. I don't think she would want you to be sad all the time, and I don't know if you are, Luann, so I don't mean to um, have you think that I think that of you, but she is there for you, and in the most loving, beautiful, light-hearted way. So just be open to that experience of her coming to you on the breeze. I'm hearing the words on the breeze.
Okay, and I'm getting major chills on this, Miss Ruth, and the chimes are going off. So as you are saying that, and I've never associated that. This is not my association, so obviously it's not coming from me. When you said the chimes, those are musical notes.
Oh, the raindrops are musical notes.
No, the sound of the chime. Because they are musical notes. So
musical notes.
Notes. Yes. Connect the note. And it's like, oh, I've never done that before with this card. It's just not so. That's perfect. I love that. So what that also says to me, Luann, is pay attention to when you hear chimes go off. I love it. I love it.
And if you don't have chimes, go get some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get
beautiful.
some chimes that make you smile.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have chimes all over, inside and out.
But and Luann, I don't know if you are connected in with the elementals, but I think if you aren't, they want to connect with you, because as I'm seeing these chimes, I'm seeing like some of the little elementals, like one on top of each little chime, like trying to make them work, trying to make them make sound. So if you don't know them, we can help you find them.
That's funny.
Okay, so next one up is Lynn Marie, who's hoping to hear from Grandma Etta.
She came out fast. All right, let me see. Isn't this the, I want you to be happy. And I love that. It's such a simple message, but it's also, you know, like you said, the connection is what we have with people. They don't want us to be sad.
Yeah.
And I want you to be happy. And I think in sharing Linda's story, seeing the happiness that she has on the other side, I think it also is like allowing us to be happy that they have graduated. You know, I've at times referred to my mom's transitioning as her graduation, because that's what they are doing, is graduating to the next level.
Right.
So she's excited where she is. I know that my mom has learned so much over there. So same with Grandma Etta. It's like she has learned so much since she's been on the other side. And I think the longer and I don't think that time even has anything to do with it, but I think they go through their own training over there in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
be happy for their learning experience on the other side, but also they want you to be happy in your experiences here in this physical plane, this 3D world that we are in. I feel like she is around you a lot in a lot of different ways. I think she comes up in it's almost like there's several times throughout the day that she comes up in different ways. Just as you're going about doing your, you know, dusting or doing dishes, all of a sudden you'll have a thought of her. And that's the connection. You know, there was something with my grandma Lindy the other day. I can't remember even now what it was, but whatever I was doing, it's like, oh my gosh, Grandma, you used to do that all the time. And it was something that I never connected with her until the other day. So think of those things. Those are the connections. So
sweet. And I'm getting the smell and the sight of a orangey peach rose. So I would be looking for, whenever you get a smell of a rose or a flower, I think that's your grandma, because literally I get this rose like handed to me. It's like, okay, I see it. Yeah, be looking for the rose.
there's something too with that peach. You said peach?
Yeah, peachy orange, yeah.
And when you said that, I'm getting like the smell of peaches. So almost like it was a peach tea, like an iced tea, or maybe a peach tree, but or peach jam or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Peach.
Oh, I love that. Ooh, yay. Okay, Paul Seraphin would love to hear from his dad.
My dad comes through a lot with numbers. That's the best way that he comes through. Sometimes I get just a quick whiff of cigarette smoke, because he was a smoker. And it's so funny, because when I get a scent like that, it's like if I take a deep breath, it's gone.
It's gone.
But just that little, it's like I just accept that is it. It's not like I'm walking around the house looking for the cigarette smoker in my house. All right, Paul wants to hear from his dad. There it is, Dad. Oh, invite me into your, okay. I love when you invite me into your day. Just like the angels, an invitation is always accepted. And it's, when my mom first transitioned, I honestly don't remember talking about her after it happened, I mean, sometimes at family gatherings, there was different things, but I don't remember just having, inviting her, and I know that I was 13 years old, and I know things were different. People felt differently about death then, and I feel differently. But it's so interesting because when you invite them, when you just ask, hey, Dad, come into my day, or if you're doing something that maybe you and your dad used to do together, say, Dad, come on along. And then watch for the signs that may reveal themselves, because they like to be invited. They're already here, and they may be sending us signs, which they typically are. But I think when we invite them in, it's like, oh, they're listening, they hear me. It's like, here's a sign, I'll make those chimes go off. And you say, thank you, may I have another? And then so it's a reciprocation. So invite him into your day.
And what I'm seeing, Paul, just the vision I'm seeing is you like 3 years old, like your dad out mowing. This is just a vision. It doesn't mean that's actually what was happening. But go for the feeling on this. Your dad out mowing, and you so proud to be next to him, like I'm mowing too, and so proud of you being his son, and such a mutual admiration between the two of you. So that's what I'm getting with that. It's really very special. And I think that love and that mutual admiration continues. I'm recording, sweetie. And he is as proud of you and loving you in the exact same way that you are proud of him and loving him. So that's what I was getting with that. Oh, Paul said, so beautiful. And Lynn Marie said about Grandma Etta, we talk often. Then she disappears for a while and then comes back. She said she doesn't know anything about the peach color. However, she loves pinky orange tulips. So that's sweet. Thank you. And Paul sent hearts. Thank you for that confirmation.
So when I used to make stuffing, this is Thanksgiving stuffing, because I used to have Thanksgiving dinner at my house when I was back in Wisconsin. And the person who taught me how to make stuffing was my dad. And I mean, I had kind of a loose recipe, but not a recipe, 2 cups of this, one. It wasn't anything like that. So when I would be stirring it up, I'd always say, is that the right amount, Dad? So he always made stuffing with me every year.
That is so fun. I love that. So Danielle Prue would love to know. She's one of our EWN hosts. She's actually the face behind EWN Francais. Danielle would love to know, are there any messages from one of her angel guides?
All right. So Miss Danielle, I'm going to have you set the intention, because I'm going to continue to use this deck, because I feel that the intention behind what you are asking is, and this is the same for everybody. When you set the intention, I'd like to hear from my angels. I'd like to hear from my guide. I'd like to hear from my dad. I'd like to hear from my mom. When you set the intention of who, and then you see the sign, assume the sign is from the person that you set the intention for.
Oh, nice.
Does that make sense?
Your chimes were going off at that.
Yes, they were. All right, so let's see. My angel guide. That's so interesting. The chimes are so funny because, and I'm glad you can hear them again, Ruth, because last time you couldn't hear them. And I've never moved them.
It was breaking my heart.
I'm sitting in the same spot. They're in the same spot. All right, there we go.
Well, but you know what, Sue? I was trusting that they were going off at the right time, and you would tell me they were going off. So faith going on there, that even when you can't hear spirit, doesn't mean spirit's not acknowledging you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, Miss Danielle, I will sing you a song. Ooh. Now, I'm getting that there's something about you bringing, and I don't know anything about you, so, but it feels like there's something about you have there's a specific guide that you have, whether it's an angel guide or a guide, a spirit guide, whatever language you want to put around it, but that helps bring song into your day. So into, if you're teaching a lesson or if you're cooking, there might be a song that comes to mind, but there's something about, there's a, and it's this guide specifically because it feels like it has to do, it's opening something in your high heart chakra, that it's opening up. So I would really pay attention to when you hear different songs that are resonating, and look at the songs, how they feel in your body versus I'm hearing this song. Just close your eyes and feel the message. Feel what you feel versus hear what you hear. I feel like there's and I feel like this specific angel is specific for music for you. So that's what I'm getting.
Danielle and I've been talking about music. That's interesting. So, Danielle, what I'm getting is the vision of a merry-go-round. I'm thinking that's interesting because a merry-go-round just goes around and around and around. And I know Danielle is working on a lot of growth with EWN Francais and very excited about it. She's talking to people and interviewing people and just wanting to spend time doing that. At the same time, her mother and father are quite ill and living with her. And so it is like being on a merry-go-round that I see you tending to the parents and loving them in that way and going around and around, and every day is another day. And I also see you wanting to be able to break free and spend the time. But what I see you doing with that is like standing, there are animals on this merry-go-round, like standing on top of one of them with your arm up and like you're leading the parade. And so you are tending to the things you need to tend to, but you're also getting the word out and you're living your life as you can right now. A little bit clipped, but you're also out there leading that parade. You can have it both. You can be it both. And it's all in perfect timing. So good job, Danielle. You're doing the hard work of being there for the family, and that's so important.
And it actually, it feels like the merry-go-round is teaching her many things that will take her in many different directions.
Yeah, I think so. And she can also go from animal to animal and experience what it's like being on that animal. So even though it's just one merry-go-round, there are so many options there for learning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And fun. And fun.
Merry-go-rounds can be very fun, and they can be challenging. You know, you think about if it's moving a little bit and you have to jump on, if you're on it, where do you stand so you're not getting, you know, this is taking me back to when I was a kid here, but where do you stand so you don't get dizzy? How tight do you have to hang on to go from position to position? So and all of those can be related to different things in life. So it's a beautiful analogy.
That's nice. Lynn Marie said, "Thank you for the lovely Zoom. You're both so kind and gentle and sweet."
Oh, thank you, Miss Lynn Marie.
She said, "I appreciate the message, the story of your friend over the week, and your time." Oh, our pleasure. I'm so glad you were
Beautiful.
here with us, Lynn Marie. Thank you. So I don't have any other questions yet, but I think we're going to get some more. But, Sue, one thing I wanted to talk to you about was that whole concept of when we transition over, cocooning. Now, with my mother-in-law, she passed in about, I'd say 3 weeks afterwards. I had had this vision, and I knew nothing about energy. So the fact that I was getting this vision was like, whoa, what is that? And I saw her, and she was all snuggled up in a bed, cocooned, literally in a bed, but peaceful and calm and like sleeping. And she had had a very rough cancerous journey out. And there was an older man who was like in a old timey army outfit, who opened the door, brought me in. I didn't even know I was going anywhere, but opened the door, brought me in, took me to the room where she was cocooning. And I heard the word cocooning. And what I understood was that sometimes when somebody has a tumultuous crossing, either, very, very sick or violent or, terrific and not in a good way, crossing, that when they get over to the other side, there's a time of cocooning and healing and clearing and rest. Have you had any experience with any of the folks crossing over and cocooning?
I've actually heard it explained by some, I can't remember who, I can picture her, but I can't think of her name. Claire Candy. She's a spiritual teacher. I think if you just search her, she's written a couple of books, and it was in one of her books she was talking about. So she's a walk-in, and from the life that she started, the soul that started, it was horrific. I mean, it was horrible. And during a meditation, which this is the first time I had ever heard about this, but during a meditation, it was a very deep meditation. It was like the one soul walked out and the other one walked in. And the soul that walked out, because of the life that she led, she was actually in what Claire referred to as angel hospital. And it's different terminology, but it's very similar, because it's like you need to be in this, you can't just go right off to school. It's kind of like summer vacation, so you can take a little bit of break in between. And so in this transition period, you truly are, you need to rejuvenate your soul, but it's also like the integration part. So there was so much that you learned, but especially if you had a lot of physical, if you're dealing with a lot of physical pain and physical illness, there's that transition period. And I think the integration of all of the things that you learned, I think all goes into that cocooning and extra care that your soul is given before you go on to, okay, I'm ready to take on the next, the next grade.
Right. Well, and I was wondering about this gentleman. Who was he? It was obvious he was from a time where, if he looked like that in this realm, he would have been older than her. So was it her father? Was it an uncle figure? Was it a spirit guide, that wasn't even here on Earth? But it was fascinating because he was there to keep her safe. And not that she needed anybody to keep her safe, right? He was just
Right.
holding space. She wasn't
Right.
alone.
Right. And it's comforting. I mean, for the people that are left, it's comforting to know that, oh, they are getting extra care. It's like if somebody in the 3D world, if they have an accident, you want to know that they're in a place where they can recuperate. So, yay.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful.
Well, and I was wondering about Linda too. It was like, I know she was ready to go, but is she going to be needing some time? Because her body went through a, really tough last 6 months. So it's like, yeah, my guess is that there's some cocooning going on. Yeah. And of
I
course,
think for a lot of people there are.
yeah. And there's no time over there.
That's
So,
right.
I guess they could just cocoon for a short time or
Mm-hmm.
a long time. I don't know. So Matsuri has a new show on EWN, Enlightened Living, and also Enlightened World Network. It's Angels and Archangels in Espanol. Mansuri is here with us, and she would love to have a message. Mansuri works with the angels frequently, so this will be fun to see what comes in.
Yes.
Mansuri, we're glad you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Now, that was an interesting sigh.
From me or you?
No, that was definitely me, because it was like, oh, I mean, because I even made a sound, which I don't typically do. But I feel like that is also part of the message here. Mansuri, am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's something to do with your breath. Are you holding your breath? Is there, I know when people get excited, sometimes we have a tendency of holding our breath, but it feels like there's something that with your breath that you are doing that you might not be aware of. So anyway, just take note of that. So the card, we've talked a little bit about this already today. It's notice the scents and aromas. And again, so, if I smell something, is it connected to an angel? Is it connected to an archangel? Is it connected to a loved one? Well, what are you setting the intention on? So the sense, because sense is one of those parts of our brain that it's connected. Fragrance is connected to memories. So sometimes, like if you smell baked bread, it might take you back to when you were a child. Or if you smell a rose, the scent of a rose, it might take you back to grandma's garden. So think about setting an intention and noticing what you notice, but then also really pay attention to, okay, what was I just thinking about? Who was I just thinking about? Was I asking a question when you notice the scent, when you notice that aroma? I mean, even when you're walking out in nature, it's like, oh my gosh, I smell something different, that I haven't noticed before. So pay attention to that. What was going through your mind when you were walking at that moment? So you'll have to let us know how that feels.
And what I'm getting with that, I think that sigh was representing the side of what I was seeing.
Oh.
You were seeing it another way, and I'm seeing it in another way. What I was seeing, that Matsuri works really hard. She takes her role in life of being a conduit from the angels to folks really seriously. And she has a large following in Colombia, some of the like South America regions. And what I see with that, Mansuri, is that you work, you work, you work, and it is kind of tiring, right? I mean, you are still in a body, and we need to take care of that body. And part of the taking care of the body is taking time to enjoy your life as well. And I'm not saying that you don't enjoy the work that you do, but you need to just take some time truly just for you. I think I'm talking to the choir here, or talking to myself. It's a mirror.
It is. It's
Yeah.
celebrate the things that you have accomplished. It's not just, oh, here's my list of, even though I know you're, like like you're excited, but it's like this time together with Ruth, this is a celebration. It's like, thank you so much for allowing us to enjoy not only the time that I get to spend with Ruth, but all of the angels, all of the guides, all of the loved ones, and all of you and your loved ones and angels and guides. So enjoy throughout your day, and enjoy, oh wow, look at what I just accomplished. So I think it's twofold on that. Yeah.
Yep. And
Beautiful.
Monsri says, yes, it's true. I committed too much to help others. Yeah. So Monsri, when those smells, those scents, that love message comes through that Sue was talking about, it's okay to take time and just enjoy it. Just revel in the fact that those loved ones are there for you, or that the angels are there for you. Take that time for you. We don't, we are called as light workers to help, and we do, and we give and we give and we give. But also take that time for you and enjoy what's around you, enjoy the people around you, enjoy nature. Thank you, Chimes.
So um, well, there's two things. So what you said about helping others, it's like absolutely we are helping others, but we're also helping others to help themselves. That's the biggest thing. So they don't always come to, I have to go to that person in order to get a message, in order to get a sign, because it's like, oh, I can do this myself. I can go for a walk in nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. The other thing, when you were saying about the sense, when you notice the scents and aromas. So what I was seeing, and this is really interesting. So if you can imagine that here's this beautiful light pink rose, and as the aroma is coming in, the aroma is this beautiful ribbon of, oh, I'm getting such chills, beautiful ribbon of scent that is just wrapping around you with this not only scent, but it's sensuality. Am I saying that word right? There's a luxuriating in the aroma, is what I'm feeling.
Calgon, take me away moment.
Kind of, yeah. And if you close your eyes and allow the scent to take you away, it really can, even for a minute. And that minute can be so rejuvenating.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm smiling because Linda, one of the things that her mother used to say, her mother was a teacher, and like at bedtime is what I'm envisioning. She would come and she would say, a gold star upon your forehead if
Mm.
Linda had done well. And I think as a teacher, she probably went around desk to desk, a gold star upon your forehead. And Montseri, there's a gold star on your forehead, girl. And it's okay to just revel in that. And Danielle, you too. You guys are both working hard. You're both doing the work of the angels and living your soul's calling, your soul's passion, and your soul's purpose. And there is a gold star right there. And it's okay to enjoy that.
Absolutely. Yep. Celebrate along the way. Celebrate who we are. And, look at celebrating the people that you are helping when you know that they've accomplished. It's like, when someone comes to you and says, oh my gosh, you helped me with this, and this is what I learned, and now I can, those are just huge celebrations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So exciting.
Those are great messages. Yay. So, Sue, I don't see that we've got any other messages here. Is there anything else that comes to mind to you today? We were talking about helping people understand that death is a natural process. It doesn't have to be feared, it doesn't always have to be a horrible thing. Any other things along those lines come for you today?
You know, if you know someone who is getting ready to transition, and not everyone is in the space that Linda was in. I used to, when I was a hospice volunteer, and I've done sessions with people who have a family member who's transitioning. When you have people, family members, friends who are gathered, whether the person is aware, because they are totally aware, whether they are appear to be cognizant and know what is going on, share stories, share the love to them. I've always heard that the ears, the hearing is the last to go on people who are transitioning. Whether that's true, I don't know. That's just one of the things we learned in hospice. So whether you think they can hear, they truly can, as well as if they are unconscious. I feel, they're still checking things out. They're still here watching. It's like, oh, what is she saying? They can hear what's going on. And as Ruth was sharing about holding Linda in love, when you are sharing memories, or remember when you took me there, remember when we did this together, that is a way of holding them in love, and it helps their transition be easier, be less frightening, and if they're afraid, all of those things. It's a way to help pave the path a little bit more. So I think that that's just a beautiful way, and it's also, I go back to this session that I did where we're all sharing. I mean, I wasn't sharing stories. I was laughing right along with them, but they're sharing stories and everybody's laughing around the woman who is unconscious. But think about that. That's what they're hearing, is the laughter and the love from all the people in their life. So I think it helps with the transition. It helps us as well.
Oh, absolutely. So we have done that here on Enlightened World Network for I think about 6 people now, and it's a session where there's many of us together in the Zoom room where we can see each other, and we're just holding that person in love. And sometimes it's to lift them as they're imminently preparing to pass on, and other times it's to just lift them up in memories and allowing them to hear the impact they had on other people. And we liken it to sort of an unfuneral
Yeah,
because it's before the death, it's with them able to hear it, whether it's, them being there physically with us or listening to it afterwards, or, as you said, maybe unresponsive, but still able to hear and feel it. But so many positive things come out of that, not only for the person who's passing, but for the other folks that need that place to feel like they're contributing and
yes,
have that place, especially, where we're kind of isolated now, people aren't traveling, that kind of thing, to be able to hold each other in love, even if it's across a Zoom room, you can
yes,
feel a whole lot of love and connection looking at the other person. And what we've found is that when that's the case, folks don't feel the need for that funeral so much because they've had it while the person was alive.
that's right.
A true celebration of
Of
life.
life. Yes, yes. I'll tell you, when they did that for my brother, his church, I swear that carried him another year. And I'm not saying that that's why to do it. I'm saying it was because I feel, from what I was hearing from the minister afterwards and a friend of his, it's like, yeah, I think he was much worse, and that helped carry him. And I think having a new appreciation for himself, which that's one of our things that we need to learn, is to love ourselves.
Right. He saw that he made a difference for other people.
Yes. That he never, I think he never realized it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A celebration of life for the living.
Yeah.
How brilliant is that?
Yay!
It says, what a beautiful gift to give someone who is transitioning. So wonderful for anyone sharing. A comfort to all involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jean, exactly right. I know you guys have both attended some of the ones that we've done here at Enlightened World Network, and it means so very much. So much. So, okay, Miss Sue Broome,
Yes.
I think that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. So beautiful to be here.
To everybody who's been here with us today or listening to this afterwards, thank you for being here. And just remember, you don't have to believe what you think. So you don't really have to believe the ideas that you have around death and dying right now. You might be able to expand that a whole lot. So just stay open and stay curious. So much love to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Take good care, and God bless.